We'll call the March 9th Select Board meeting to order. Ryan, would you like to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We have the February 10th work session meeting. Do we have a motion?
I move that we accept the February 10th, 2020 work session minutes as written.
I'll second.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Abstain.
The February 10th, 2020 regular minute meeting.
I move that we accept those minutes as written.
I second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Abstain.
The February 24th, 2020 work session meeting minutes.
I move that we accept those minutes as written.
I second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain. The following minutes have been sealed February 10th, 2020 non-public meeting minutes. Announcement: the Select Board will meet on the following dates. Regular meeting 6 p.m. Monday, March 23rd, and Monday, April 13th, and March 27th, 2020. Work sessions prior to the regular meeting will start at 5 p.m. Town elections Tuesday, March 10th, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Plymouth Elementary School in the gym. Town meeting will be Wednesday, March 11th, 7 p.m. in the Plymouth Elementary gym. We will have a work session at 5 p.m. on Monday, March 16th, 2020. Also, on Monday, March 30th, there will be a work session between Plymouth Selectboard, the Water and Sewer District Board, and a representative of the Rural Development Organization to discuss bonds, discuss where we're going to go and what we're going to do. So that will be we'll be meeting every Monday through the end of the month. All above meetings will be held in the town hall unless otherwise posted. Citizens wishing to be listed on the Select Board's agenda should notify the town hall before 12 p.m. the Friday before the scheduled meeting. Under Chairman's comments, I want to offer a thank you from the Select Board to Senator Bob Guida, Executive Councilor Mike Cryans, State Representative Joyce Weston, Suzanne Smith, and Sally Fellows, Superintendent of SAU 48 Mark Halloran, Director of Public Safety and Emergency Management at Plymouth State University Steve Temporino, and all of the Plymouth residents that participated in either testifying before the House Public Works Committee or submitting letters and emails supporting the Highland Street project being moved back up in the 10-year plan 2021 through 2030. Notification from the House Public Works Committee states that it is planned to advance the Highland Street project back to where it was previously. Engineering program to begin in 2022. Construction to begin in 2025. This change is in the draft form of the bill HPW is working on. They plan to vote on this bill next week. Also in the works is a proposal to take care of the intersection of Tenny Mountain Highway and Smith Bridge Road. The town is working with the Lakes Region Planning Commission and the state to get this project in the next 10-year plan, 2023 through 2032. We are looking at either a roundabout or a signal at that intersection and would appreciate any letters from the public to support our endeavors to get this project underway. You can submit your letters of support to the email at the town hall at plymouth-nh.org. March 30, 2020, 5 p.m. Again, the board will be meeting in an informal work session with Plymouth Village Water and Sewer District, Misty, how do you pronounce her name? Sinsagali of Rural Development to discuss the South Main Street projects and grant opportunities available for this project. The public is invited to attend this meeting. Now for the big news. Market Basket is projected to open March 28, 2020. Also in the form of chairman's comments, Paul Freitas will be done with the town the end of March. So, and one other comment I would like to make, it is, I want to thank Brian and Jenny and Mike Ahern for all the work you've done coming and doing the job, and it's not the easiest, but you've been some of the best people to work for. Everybody's been, you know, we might disagree, but at the end we hear other people's opinions and comments, and I just want to thank the three of you for everything you've done for the town of Plymouth.
Sean.
Appreciate it. Okay, Tom Morrison. Good evening.
So on the agenda, you have a number for a new engine. Actually, what you have on the agenda is to repair that engine, which is not feasible. So this is a new purchase order. Once they tore it down, they discovered, and we knew it was going to be a possibility,
This one.
that it was not feasible to rebuild it. So this number is to replace it. We looked at an option of, I'm sorry, did you not get one, Brian?
Sure.
We looked at an option of a rebuild, and it was only about $1,500 less, with half the warranty, because there's so much labor involved in trying to salvage those old pieces from the motor, the turbo and the air compressor.
Which is just gonna...
Easier to drop in a new one.
Yep.
And we get twice the warranty. So that's my recommendation. We also talked to a couple of the shops that work for us on a routine basis, and they all recommended the same thing. And they all recommended that we go with Cummins, because it is a Cummins motor. And that's where you're gonna get the warranty.
Okay. And there wasn't any warranty left on this. So
No, that's a 2003 truck's 17 years
we
old.
got our money's worth out of it. Any other questions from the board?
So this has to be done ASAP, pretty much?
Well, yes, I mean, we're down to one engine. Engine 2, which is 33 years old, is, for all intents and purposes, not serviceable. The pump is cracked and it's not worth fixing.
How old is it?
Engine 2?
30.
Yeah, it's a 1987. That's the
That was a
one
great
that
year,
we're
though.
writing, that we're writing the grant for, to replace,
Yeah.
because it's so old.
How's that going?
That'll be submitted tomorrow. It's due Friday, but I want to get it
Right.
submitted tomorrow. Sometimes there's
Oh, you didn't sign this, didn't do that?
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
so you still beat the deadline.
yeah.
All right.
And that's a $500,000, actually, it's 580. And the FEMA will pay 95% of that if we get it.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
It's been a
Everybody
lot of
say a
work.
prayer tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it'll be worth it in the end.
All right, do we have a motion?
I move that we accept the purchase order for the fire rescue in the amount of $25,539.35 to replace the engine for engine 3.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Tommy.
Tommy,
Do we have the original?
you have the original.
Sorry.
Go ahead and sign.
Just sign it now.
Yep. Pass it down this way and we'll pass it back.
So I just heard a comment from the back here where the money is coming from. Right? Yeah. Kathy has been speaking with the department heads. We need to tighten up our belt to find this $25,000.
Yep.
I just want to make sure that everybody knows this is.
Well, they have money in the,
Not enough. We didn't budget 25,000
we budgeted the
for
14.
something like this. The amount that's in the budget did not include any motor replacement, repair, rebuild, or anything.
Right.
That's what we're gonna have to do to find the money.
And just so people know, this isn't just a one-time occasion that we have to do this sometimes. In some cases, especially towards the end of a physical year, we have situations that arise and we have to look at it, and some of the department heads will curtail an expenditure till the next physical year so that we can complete these. And, all right, where are we at? Brian Murphy.
As you know, we've held two informational or public hearings on acceptance of two portions of conservation land out along the Baker River. One to the south of the river and adjacent to the backside of Market Basket, the other on the northern bank of the river that's essentially inaccessible. The reasons that those were proposed to be delivered to the town was to enable a wetlands impact along Tenny Mountain Highway. The decision is in your hands at this point as to whether to accept them on the town's behalf. As far as administering them as conservation parcels, and that does come with some money to help that out. Can be determined at a later date, but there are two land trusts in the area that do a very good job. One already administers the Quincy Bog, and there's another that's more located toward the lakeside. And I think that they'd be more than happy to do that, because it's not just a, here, take this for us, that it actually comes with some maintenance money to go along with it. So I guess what I'm asking at this point is for a motion and a vote on whether to accept the parcels on behalf of the town of Plymouth or not.
Do we have any discussion from the board?
Well, I'll make a motion to accept
Alright.
the two parcels of land. We've already discussed the great worth of those pieces of property and the fact that we could extend a river walk from, the community gardens to ultimately Smith's Bridge. So it's very important for us to obtain those properties.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for your work, too. thank the entire town staff for the work. It's been a pretty busy time, and everybody's stepped up and gone beyond. So I thank you for that. Next up is Neil McIver.
Mr. Chairman, if you may please the board, I'm Neil McIver. I'm a candidate in the town election, and I have a couple of questions for the board. I'd like to know what your policy is on administration involvement in town elections.
By administration, what do you mean?
By your staff.
The staff, as far as I know, and if I am speaking out of turn, let me know, Kathy, but, you know, while they're working for the town, you know, there's supposed to be no electioneering. Other than that, when they're on their private time, we still have First Amendment rights, everyone.
Yeah, I want to ask you how much involvement the town administration had in the planning and implementation of the candidates forum.
I can answer that. In the past, we've always set up, like found a place to hold the candidates' night, which is what I did this time. I found the place to hold the candidates' night. People were invited to bring their questions and drop them in a box at the town hall, but at the end of that time, somebody else came and picked up the box, went through the questions, and took care of like writing them out for the moderator to read at candidates' night. So we don't have anything to do with it other than that.
I have all due respect for Mike Conklin and Val Scarborough for the work that they did, but I'm questioning the ethical involvement of town administrative staff being directly involved in a candidates forum.
Well, who else,
Well,
you know?
The International Municipal Association has an ethics rule against any involvement at all by town administration in a town election.
Okay,
And that's my point.
all right,
Okay?
point taken.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions or? All right. Committee reports.
So, let's see.
Your last hurrah.
Yeah. February 20th, we had a parking committee meeting, and Abear was there and talked to the committee about income that we've brought in for the parking meters, how a fund was established for parking for the town, where that money is now. It's very interesting. Chief Lefebvre was in attendance. And a lot of the talk centered around new meters that could possibly be taken by a credit card at each site. So that was the parking committee. I did attend March 3rd, the Department of Transportation committee that the staff, Plymouth staff came. Kathy was there, Brian Murphy. Who am I missing? Huh? Joe. Fagnat and Kathy. And the Plymouth, Jules was there. And as well as Plymouth State University, represented by Steve Temperino,
yeah.
as well as the SAU, Mark Halloran was there. It was extremely impressive to see Plymouth all pulling together and as well as State Senator Bob Gaida. And it was great to see, again, all of Plymouth, all across the board working, and it did have an impact, it appeared, and so we did get moved up to something around 2021 to start the engineering 2022, it sounded like from the letter that you said, which is a lot better than starting the engineering in 2027, so.
Exactly.
It was all that effort that we've been putting in over the last year and a half, 2 years to get Highland Street brought forward after thinking that we had it 4 years ago. It's finally happening.
Yeah.
It's finally going to happen. So real nice to be at that meeting and see state government at work.
Thank you, Mike, for, since I was out of town, for attending on my behalf. I appreciate it. I know, Bill, you were in another meeting.
Yeah, I got the tail end. Just I wrote support on the bill.
Well, thank you guys for that, and glad to see the progress that was made there for the town, and I know the townspeople will be appreciative. All of us will. We travel the road. So. All right, and Bill?
So I went to planning board, and we had an offer of some help from Lakes Region Planning Commission to help us with the construction of stormwater regs. And we're going to have several meetings over the next 6 weeks, I guess, with the LRPC staff. And they're going to be meeting with a couple of members from the planning board, also with the Conservation Commission and Plymouth Water and Sewer District. And the result is we'll have these stormwater regs that we can use for evaluating applications for planning board issues. And also at the planning board meeting, we looked at the last of the master plan implementation schedule, just to review it to see what needs tweaking and whether or not we had the proper people identified and how we're going to be making sure we can follow up on the items. And we're also looking at the site plan regulations as well. So that's going to occupy our time for how much longer?
Until amendment season.
There we go. So we're going to be looking at those for a while.
Ryan?
Last week, I attended the CCC meeting, which is the Campus Community Council with PSU. Amongst other things, we discussed a new format for those meetings, which will be, they will take place every Tuesday, every second Tuesday of every month instead of alternating months, at 6 p.m. here in Town Hall. We talked about having a select board rep who is me right now currently, and then a rep from the university who will get together monthly to talk about or discuss what items will go on the agenda to be talked about, and so it doesn't become, they're not like lengthy meetings every single month, because we're holding them once a month now. And so, which I think is a very important change, just to keep in that constant communication, continuing to build upon a relationship with PSU. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I will be attending the first next month CCC meeting with the new select board rep to kind of help them get into it.
Good, very good. Jenny?
I went to the Plymouth Elementary School board meeting that was on Monday, March 2nd. We talked about the calendar, which as of right now has school starting on August 25th. One of the things that was raised was the idea of school starting after Labor Day. This year, Labor Day is a little bit late, which would push us back until literally the end of June ending. So at this time, that's not what we're looking at. The big topic that we talked about was the position of principal, and interviews will be starting this past week and this week. We also then were followed up by the district meeting that was held at 7 o'clock in the gymnasium, and there was a lot of really good questions, involvement, and everything did pass. So that was it.
Okay. Is anyone on the board want to have our departing members want to have a departing comment or anything they'd like to say?
I'd like to say something. I had a really, as odd as it might sound, enjoyable time on the select board. It's a really rewarding experience that other people will get to experience now as well. And it's a great thing to be involved with your town and to find out how you can help it. So to the people who are coming on board and who are staying on board, good luck. So thank you.
Brian?
Yeah. So I did enjoy the last 3 years with the people sitting here, and Jenny for the last year, with both town hall administrations. It's been quite an eye-opening experience for me. I came from the planning board before the select board, and I was just starting to get my feet wet on that board when I decided to put my hat in for this. There were some unexpected moments, some that kind of tested me, and I'm glad I stuck it out. There have been those in the past who wouldn't, and I highly encourage more people to get involved, more people to put their hats, so to speak, in the race for a select board, and to stick it out for 3 years. And I think that it's very important. I think that remaining ethical, as Neil so poignantly expressed earlier, is very important on the select board. I think that it shows the character of this town, and I would like to express my gratitude once again for everyone who I served with and for the town of Plymouth, because I always tried to do my best to serve you as the town. So,
Thank you, Brad. Mike Ahan.
Well, you know, it's mixed feelings to leave, and I've enjoyed my time on the board. I served with some really exceptional fellow members over the years, and I've learned a lot from them. It was incredible serving with the town staff and getting to know how all that works. And the reason Paul brought me on to the planning board, it seemed years ago. Paul asked me to be considered for the select board, and I have a lot of, I'm appreciative of the opportunities that he's given me. And it's 5 people, and which is kind of neat, because it takes that group, that size group, I think works very well. And I may not have always agreed with all the outcome, but I was content, and I made sure I always put my 2 cents in, and that's the way a select board member should be. And I would really like to get done, because I want other people to have an opportunity to step forward in the community, see how the town is run, and have their 2 cents. The town's heard me, and it's time for many more people to have a voice. And it's one thing I've tried to do, is to get people that haven't served before to step forward. And I will continue to try and do that, have people step forward. It's a very noble cause, and I appreciate the time that I spent with this board. So, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Kathy, do you have some comments?
I do. I just wanted to let the public know that one of the things I'm working on is getting together an economic development team to work on inviting potential businesses to the town of Plymouth. Tenny Mountain Highway, Boulder Point, and Route 3A are prime spots for this development, and I've contacted some major property owners and developers to be part of this team, and I've received positive responses from those invited and want to invite the town to send their wish list, their suggestions of what they want to see come to Plymouth. You can send your wish list to me at townadmin@plymouth-nh.org, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. So thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, any public comments regarding items that have been discussed tonight? Ann?
I just have one item. We are going for the USDA New Hampshire Vermont Community Facilities Grant, and we have that application being written up right now.
Okay.
I would ask that the board authorize Mrs. Catherine Lowe as the signer on behalf of the town. We are going for right now $250,000 for this potential grant, which is what they told us could be our max, but of course we're always looking for a little more. The three departments that will be affected right now are recycling, police, and highway.
Okay.
So we've got a full list of items from each of those departments, and we are moving forward on that grant. It just takes time to get it all together. It isn't that we weren't working on it, because we have been. It just takes time. So
All right.
I do need an authorization for Kathy to be the signer of that one.
Is that the one with a like a drop dead date of like April something?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Okay.
just
Do I have a motion from the board?
I move that we have Kathy Lowe be the signatory on the application for that grant.
I second. I second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that is taken care of. Any public comments from anyone out there? Frank, you're quiet tonight? All right, any further business? Kathy? No? All right, do I have another motion?
I move we adjourn.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.